How you doing, guys? This is BG Dino, and I am the Terror Dome Soldier. Welcome to my movie review show. Today's movie is going to be the movie Primate. But first, let's watch this trailer. And good to see you guys. Primate is a 2025 film. It runs approximately 1 hour and 29 minutes long. Primate, this is a January movie. Will it break the January curse? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's get into it. The movie Primate, it lets you know that it's about business from the very beginning. It starts off where you see a doctor, pretty much a veterinarian. He's going into a cage. You're not sure exactly what's going on. You can see it's someone's house. You can see it's someone's backyard. You can see like it's a man-made cage, like a little, small cage, not like in a zoo or something. So once he goes inside, you can see it's made for like a bigger animal, like a monkey or something. So once he goes inside, he sees the monkey. This is when you introduce to the monkey by the name of Ben. Ben is actually part of this family. They've been raising this monkey since he was a little baby, and he's like part of the family, but he's been feeling kind of ill. So they called the veterinarian in to check on Ben, how he's doing. So immediately when it comes on, you see Ben, which is the monkey, he's sitting there and he's kind of like growling at the doctor. And the doctor, must have a relationship with Ben because, they was talking. He was talking to Ben, and Ben, he's kind of smart. They trained the monkey to be very smart, so he understands some things and hand language and stuff like that. Basic things he can understand. So the doctor, he turns around to get his needle to give Ben a needle because he noticed that Ben has a cut on his hand. Well, we'll get into why he's giving him a needle. So he's going to give Ben a needle, and when he turned around, Ben was gone. So Ben ran inside this little homemade house they had inside the cage, and the doctor, he go look in there for Ben, and they say monkeys have extreme power towards a human being. It's more like 2 to 3 times a man's strength, a human strength, pretty much. So you see the doctor, he looks inside. As you know, you see the doctor get yanked inside the house. This movie does not cut the camera. I know I said the movie, The Long Walk don't cut the camera. This movie does not cut the camera. When there's a kill scene, you're going to see it all the way through. So once Ben pulled the veterinarian inside his little house, Ben also, he grabbed the doctor and he pretty much ripped the doctor's face off. It shows it. We talking about within the first 2-3 minutes of this movie, they show Ben pretty much rip this man's face off. And then it blanks away and it says 24 hours later. So it goes back 24 hours. That's where the film starts. But before I get any deeper into the movie, let me tell you this. I'm not sure if it's at every theater. I'm almost sure it is. Because like I said, the running time is 1 hour and 29 minutes long. You have maybe, I want to say maybe 20 minutes of previews. But these previews are excellent. The previews were just as good as the movies. You got previews to all these new scary movies that's coming out. And there's one particular scary movie I've seen the preview to. And I'm going to actually show the trailer at the end. So guys, stay tuned so I can give you a surprise trailer. It's a trailer that everybody been waiting for. Everybody been talking about. People thought that it wasn't going to be made, but it was. So I'm going to actually show the trailer at the end of this video, if I'm allowed to. Let's cross our fingers on that. But pretty much after they put the subtitle up, this is 24 hours, before that situation happened. And then you use some kind of explanation of what rabies actually is. Rabies, the word rabies is a Latin term. It means whatever. You can look it up yourself. I can't remember exactly, but you know what rabies is. Something got it, you better get a shot before you get it. That's what it means. So this story particularly takes place in Hawaii, where you meet a young lady. She's actually going to visit her father. Her father's 100% completely deaf. He cannot hear at all. So everyone does sign language. And this is one thing that helps Ben out, because Ben can understand sign language. And they have little machines where they can press and they can communicate with each other. And the father, he's like this big rich guy, big rich business guy. And his daughter's coming to visit him. They've been estranged because she's in college and she hasn't been home for a long time. So she goes there. The father, he actually lives with the little sister. So it's the new girl, the young daughter that's coming there. They're coming to visit the dad. The dad that's deaf. And the young daughter that lives there, and the daughter that's coming to visit, she actually bringing 2 of her friends from college along with her. So it's total out, total out 5 people. And then they have a guy that's there. he's considered as her brother because they grew up together. He's not really any blood to them, but he's there. So we're talking 6 people. Before we get to that scene, they were showing a flight where the daughter was flying to Hawaii. She was on a plane with 2 of her friends, and you see these other 2 guys that was on the plane. I gotta bring them up because they're gonna come back in this film a little bit later on. So like I said, this is like a trip to Hawaii to these 2 guys. They just happened to bump into them, and they exchanged phone numbers before they made their travel to the girl's father's house. I'll tell you right now, this movie is brutal. This movie does not play. This movie is brutal. This movie is brutal. So when the movie begins, it showed the father, he's about to go away on a business trip. Once the daughter got there, he let them know, once he come back, they're going to all have fun and everybody get introduced to everybody. And the 2 people that's coming to visit with the daughter, one of them never been there before, so she didn't know anything about the monkey Ben. And they introduced him to her, and he did this little thing where he go like this. That means shake his hand. So it goes from, ooh, look at Ben. Ooh, Ben so nice. Nice monkey.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Right away, it cuts to a scene where one of the new girls that's never been to the house, she actually finds the pool area to this big giant mansion. And as she's there, she's looking at the water. She turns around. And Ben just happened to be sitting there, and he's like kind of growling, like he's drooling a little bit. It looks a little off, but he still seemed kind of friendly. So the father, he comes down and he tells her, Ben, he doesn't really like, he gets strange around strangers, but I'm going to put him in his cage so you don't have to worry about it. So the father, he went to go put Ben back inside his cage, and as he was putting Ben in the cage, he noticed there was a dead mongoose on the ground. So he asked Ben, he said, was you fighting with the local animals again? And as he looked, he noticed that Ben had a bite on his arm. So the father, he was kind of concerned about it, but he wasn't really, because he was known that there's no rabies on the island of Hawaii. Well, that part of Hawaii anyway, nothing carried rabies. So the father said he's going to take the little mongoose that was dead, and he's going to send it to a lab anyway to get it examined before he go on the trip. So the father, he goes on his trip. He takes the mongoose, get it examined. Meanwhile, Ben is sitting there. Then it cuts away to the scene where it's at the very beginning, where the veterinarian, he goes in to Ben's cage. This is why the veterinarian was there at the beginning, because the father called him because of the little bite mark that Ben had on his arm. He was just concerned about it. Nobody thought he had rabies or anything. So this is when Ben attacks the veterinarian, and he gets out of his cage. So the father already had informed the daughter and all the people that's there. So it's total about 4 or 5 people there. It's the daughter, her 2 friends, the other little daughter, and the guy they call her brother. So total about 5 people. So you remember the veterinarian, he's dead inside the cage because Ben pulled his face off. So Ben, he eventually comes to the house, and one of the new girls that's actually never been to the house before, she noticed that Ben is back in the house. And she said, I thought he was locked up. I thought the father said he locked in the cage. And she noticed that Ben had like all this pus and stuff on his face. See, one of the things with rabies, and I learned this from Cujo, that once an animal got rabies, they don't like hearing noise and something about water that makes them upset or something. So she noticed that Ben was sitting there, and he was kind of growling at her. And so she closed the door, and she called for the daughter, the older daughter, the one who came to visit. She said, hey, something's wrong with Ben. So when the older daughter go out there, of course, she goes to open the door, and the girl just told her something wrong with Ben. And Ben is sitting there, and he's growling. So it goes, it's not never drawn off, but it goes to a scene where all of them decide to get in the pool. We're talking to 5 people: the boy, the older sister, the younger sister, and the 2 friends. So that's 5 people. So while they was at the pool, Ben came down the monkey, and he did something to one of the females. He like scratched her real bad, and he began to attack. And he seemed like he was ready to hurt someone. So they noticed that he wasn't Ben himself anymore. So he actually tried to attack one of them. He attacked the little sister. I'm sorry. He attacked the little sister. He destroyed her leg. He like bit her and pulled her leg like to the point where it was like mutilated completely. So they decided to get inside the water. See, this house right here, like I said, it's a big giant mansion, but their pool is sitting like on the back of a cliff. This is Hawaii. It's a very beautiful house. The pool is really nice. It was like a pool area, but it's like a little edge towards the end of the cliff. And you can, so there's a pool surrounding, sitting in the middle. in the back of the house, and there's a cliff at the back of it. That comes in play later on. Also, it was noted that Ben was terrified of water, so he's not going to get in water. He can't swim, and he's terrified of water. So the rabies is already kicking in. He's already getting distracted and irritated by everything and just want to destroy something. He's no longer himself anymore. He's drooling. He's attacking. You know, he already, like I said, he already attacked the little sister. But he was also very smart. They trained him to be smart. See, the thing is, you train a monkey to be smart. It's smart. You can't make him unsmart because now he got rabies. So now he know how to think and know how to maneuver around. So he decided to stay inside the pool. On this side, let me come around to where the edge is at. To the edge of the pool, the back of the pool. And he's standing there and try to attack him. So the guy, the young guy, he decided he had a bright idea. While Ben is sitting right there, I can just jump up there and push him off the cliff. So this part right here was unbelievable. I've never seen this in a movie before. I've never seen this. So he decides to go and grab Ben and try to push Ben off the cliff. Of course, Ben is a monkey, so he pushed Ben and Ben disappeared like he was gone. So the guy was like, ha ha, yeah, I got him. So Ben, of course, he's strong. He reaches up, grabs the boy, and pulls him off the cliff. They show the entire fall for the boy. He fell off the cliff. He fell all the way down. They show it from the POV from the guy that's falling, all the way to the point when he hits the rocks. They show his head, from your point of view, of his head.
Ooh, you know he did.
I never jump in movies. I never jump in a movie. It actually made me jump and say, oh. I said, ooh. Yeah, I mean, it made me make a sound. A lot of people made a sound. This movie was brutal. Nobody is safe in this movie. No one is safe. No one is safe in this movie. You know, you say, okay, yeah, I'm thinking maybe they're going to let him survive. Nope, they took him out first. Then it goes to another scene where Ben, he's all around the house just doing different things. They don't have no phone because the moment when he attacked the little sister, one of the girls, he had a phone and she dropped it on the ground. So the phone is sitting like close to Ben. And like you got to remember, they're inside of a pool. And so they got to try to stay afloat inside the pool and hold the little sister up because the little sister's leg is damaged very bad. You know, the guy, he's gone, so there's only 4 of them left. The damaged little girl, her 2 friends, and the older sister. So they know there's a little flotation device on the ground. So she said, look, I'm going to have to try to go over there and get it. One of y'all distract them or something. So she sneaks over and gets the flotation device. Ben just looked at her. He didn't really say nothing. He just looked at her. They get the flotation device inside the pool, and they was able to put the little sister in. And while she was there, she got greedy. She said, oh, let me try to get that cell phone so I can call for help. So she was able to go and get the cell phone. He allowed her to get the cell phone, because I'm going to say that, because this guy, this monkey is completely strong. I mean, and the one thing I love about this movie the most is its practical effects. This is not CGI at all. This is actually a human being inside that monkey outfit. I mean, this is excellent. I love practical effects horror movies. That is my ultimate favorite. Anytime it's a horror movie, they got practical effects, I love it. So nothing looks phony in this movie. If something happens, it looks like it's happening. Because like I said, it's practical effects. So anyway, the older sister, she was able to try to get to the cell phone. The cell phone was all cracked up. So you know how your phone is when you cracked up. Everybody had a cracked up cell phone before. You only could do certain things on it at a time. So she was like, well, earlier today, when they met the guys on the plane, they had their phone number early before they got inside the pool. They had left a message on their phone. So they was like the last people that they called on that cell phone. So they was like, well, if we can't dial the number, at least call the last number you can call. These 2 guys, like college geek guys, you know, the kind of guys that play all the time. So when they called them up, the guys thought they was joking, so they was joking on camera. You seen that part in the trailer. So I ain't really got to explain that too much. They just thought it was a joke. The trailer showed a little too much. You know, the trailer pretty much showed that entire scene where the 2 college boys eventually came there. They didn't have no clue what was going on. You know, they came in the house. The college boys, they eventually showed up and came inside the house. You know, they thinking there's a party there. So they looking for the girls. They all want to go upstairs, want to go downstairs. And the guy upstairs, he looking around. He doing little stupid things like messing with teddy bears and stuff like this, stupid stuff. And one of the guys, he see a bed, so he decided to lay in the bed. You know, they got one thing on the brain, but they still haven't even found the females yet. They didn't even notice that they was out back yet. So once he was in the bed, he noticed there was a picture of the oldest female, the oldest sister, playing with a monkey. So he was like, what the hell? Somebody got a monkey. So when he turned around, Ben was sitting in his face like, I mean, it was a jump scene. It was a jump scene that was worth it. So, Ben played around with him for a while, little peekaboo type stuff. I'm here, no, I'm not. Eventually, he got there with him and he pretty much ripped the guy's mouth off. I mean, it shows everything. It shows Ben stick his fingers inside this guy's mouth and it shows him rip it off. It was crazy. Like I said, this movie don't cut away at all. Whatever happens, happens. It shows it. So he pretty much killed the guy that was in the bed, ripped his mouth off. And the other guy, he's downstairs on the lower part, but it's still a balcony. And he looked over and he seen the females down there. They would sleep inside the water because they would sit down there so long. They eventually dozed up. So he saw them. They saw him. So they try to tell him, hey, go get some help. Watch out for the monkey. And he like, I can't really hear you. So eventually, Ben sneaks up behind him, and Ben just, but they didn't really show this kill. This was like an off-screen kill, but they still showed him pounding on him. So one of the female friends, she decided, let me go and try to get something while he's doing it. So while she's up there, she was trying to sneak out the house. So Ben's eventually saying that he caught up with her. Let me rewind a minute. Once the guy was in the bed, the first guy he killed that came to visit, he had his car keys in his hand. He was using that to try to charm Ben. Like, hey, Ben, you don't want to mess with me? I got something jingly. You want to play with jingly thing? So he actually gave Ben the keys to his car. Like I said, Ben was pretty smart because they trained him to be smart. So back to where I was at. So the female, she said, well, I could try to, get out to this car because I still got the car keys. I know where the car keys are on the thing, so I'm going to sneak in and get the car keys while he's still working on him. I'm going to sneak out and try to get some help. So she goes like that. They showed this part in the trailer too. So she goes to get in the car and she has the key and the key won't work. It's the wrong key to the wrong car. She pressed the button for it to make the sound. She knows it was the car next to them. See, she had the key to, she was in the car that them guys had. But the other car was to the keys that she had, which was the car that actually belongs to that house. So don't forget, Ben still got the keys, and Ben is smart. So she's sitting in the car, she see Ben there, so she tried to lock all the doors. And like I said, she wanted to get over to the other car, but she noticed that Ben had the keys, and he was showing her that he knew how to do it. So he pressed the button, the door unlocked. She was like, oh my God, he knew how to do that. So you see him in the trailer. He eventually gets in the car with her and destroys her. Pretty much smash her to death. Ben was no joke. Ben was strong. Ben smashed people to death. It's amazing that they named him Ben, like off the rat, Ben from off the old movie. Ben the monkey, he was a mixture of Ben the rat and Cujo the dog. You remember Cujo got bit by a bat, he had rabies. And he's like a Cujo 3.0. So anyway, back to the movie. There's 3 of them left. It's the sister that got bit, which is the little girl, the older sister, and her best friend, one of the girls that came with her. So while she was out there, she decided she's going to try to escape and get one of the phones, and both of them was up there, and Ben saw them, so Ben started chasing the older sister. She almost got caught, so the friend came back to help her, and she hit Ben with like a bat or something, knocked him down. And so he got away. So both of them running. And of course, Ben pretty fast. He's a monkey. So he caught one of the friends and he pretty much did the smash to her on the porch. And meanwhile, the father, he's at this event, the event that he was going to, but he finally got a phone call back from the doctor because remember he said he was going to send the dead mongoose to the lab to get it checked out to see if anything's wrong with it. So the doctor sent him a text saying, you must be joking. He was like, what you mean? She's like, this thing has rabies. And he's like, no, there's no rabies on Hawaii. So she's like, I'm going to check it again. And then it cuts away. So eventually the doctor, she calls the father back and said, yes, it most definitely had rabies. So he decided to leave where he was at to try to make it back home. So meanwhile, the sister, she's still sitting inside the pool with the little sister. She's bleeding to death because, like I said, he bit her. He scratched her open real bad. So she getting desperate to the point where she got to do something. So she gets to the point where she has to go and try to, get past Ben just so she can get some help for her sister, get another phone or something. So her and Ben go to the big fight. This is at the very end. This movie's not long. Like I said, this movie is 1 hour and 29 minutes long, which you can really appreciate. So, her and Ben, they fighting. Of course, he's a big, strong monkey. The father, he comes in. The father's completely deaf, so he can't even hear the fact that his oldest daughter and the monkey is fighting in the very next room. He can't hear it, so he just walks in. Everything's normal to him. He don't hear anything. So he goes upstairs, and when he gets upstairs, he sees the young guy that Ben killed in the bed. So the father, he has this whistle thing, that Ben always, I guess it's like a tone whistle for a dog, but when he whistles it for Ben, it like makes him like pay attention. So Ben was finally getting the best of the oldest daughter, and the father just comes out of nowhere and he blows the whistle. The only thing is, I'm like, geez, man, I was thinking the father was gonna have a gun and blow him away or something, but I guess they had to make it interesting. So Ben pretty much beats both of them up. They eventually get like something sharp and they stab Ben. Of course, whenever you got a scary movie, even if it's an animal, they always gotta get that one last scare. So they jump back up. He jumps back up and he goes to attack the father and the oldest daughter again. They sitting next to the cliff. Not next to a cliff. It's like a little balcony that leads to the pool area where the sister's at. But it's a broken grills, a bunch of broken stuff down there. So they get to a point where Ben goes to attack the older sister. She's standing by the balcony. I knew it was going to happen because they kept showing the balcony. So I knew it was going to be somebody getting knocked over that balcony. So he comes in charge and he gets knocked over the balcony, and just so happened he falls directly onto a stake, which pretty much pierced through him. And it pretty much killed him. And the movie pretty much went off. This movie was brutal. This movie was excellent. This movie was a good movie night. They always ask me, how do I feel about the movie? Do you think it's something good that's for kids? I don't know if this would be a good starter movie for kids. I really don't. That's why I got rated R on the beginning of this right here. Now, I don't think... This movie is pretty brutal. I mean, like I said, and I'm a grown man, and it had me squinching my face up and covering my eyes. So it's pretty brutal. So if you like that kind of movie, please come check it out. This movie will keep you at the edge of your seats. This movie is exciting. It's not long. It keeps your attention. So with that being said, I'm going to add this movie to the Bad ASS Animal Hall of Fame. Let's go. And my immediate reaction is, touchdown! I almost forgot, guys. Stay tuned for the surprise trailer. You'll enjoy it. Please stay tuned for it. Immediately after the video. And my rating is going to be a 3.5 out of 5.5 Pterodome Soldiers. 3.5 Pterodome Soldiers out of 5.5 Pterodome Soldiers. This movie is great. It's a great date night movie. It's good. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's thrilling. It's scary. It's gory. Everything you can think of in a horror movie is pretty good. It's really, really good. So I most definitely recommend this as a date night movie. With that being said, guys, thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the comments, likes, shares. I really appreciate you guys. If it weren't for you guys, all y'all. If it weren't for y'all, it wouldn't be no me. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Time for my honorable mentions. Shout out to the Dante Show Network. Shout out to June 5th. Shout out to Miss Jersey. Subscribe to her channel. It's Forensic8888. Subscribe to my buddy eBooks. Subscribe to my buddy Thug 2000. Check out my buddy Be Humble and Be Humble's podcast. Be Humble is an ex-military guy. He's a veteran. He does a bike tour. And he has a lot of funny military content. Check all these guys out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. I love you. It's BG Dino, the Pterodome Soldier. Salute. Thank you guys for all the support. I love you guys, and please be safe. Thank you guys. Bye, and I hope you enjoy.